What up, everybody? In Raising Kanan Season 2, when Rock got backdoored by Tremont and Abraham, when they went around her directly to the plug by going through Juliana and cutting Rock out the deal, Rock went to confront Juliana and Joaquin, and at this point, Rock told Juliana that she was fighting above her weight class, and that when you're punching up, it's not about whether you can throw, it's about how you take. A boxing analogy talking about when you're up in your weight class, those punches come harder, and it's all about can you take the punch and keep fighting. And now Rock's trying to do just that, leveling up her weight class in Raising Kanan Season 4 as she tries to become the Connect. And if she's anything like her father, E-Train, she has a lot of fight in her and can take a punch. When she first met Joaquin, they were at a boxing match, and she told Joaquin that her father used to box, and Joaquin asked if he was any good, and Rock said that he had a lot of heart, but that was a dangerous thing to have in the fight game. And as Rock's trying to level up in the drug game right now, her organization has been taking blow after blow from Unique, who has been operating from the shadows, trying to burn Rock's operation to the ground. But Rock has taken each one of these blows in stride, and still has come to an agreement with Hafiz, the Afghan heroin supplier, and the Italian mafia to become the Connect. And now that Unique has come out of the shadows and showed his face, it's time for Rock to make her counter move. Sticking with the boxing analogy, like OG Kanan once said, first thing they tell you when you step in that ring is to protect yourself at all times, because nobody else is looking out for you. You're in the hurt business. Nobody taking no punches but you. And you gotta be smart, aware. Because it isn't always about being the biggest, the strongest, the fastest. The best fighters are the ones who know how to counter. Take your shit and turn it back on you. See, in the ring, punches are nothing but questions. And the person holding their fists in the air at the end are the ones who have all the answers. And when it comes to Rock, Unique might actually be the problem and the answer. Like Snap said in one of the Season 4 teaser videos, it could be a problem or it could be opportunity. And I think this was talking about Unique. And we know in episode 7, Unique will reveal to Snaps and Pop that he is alive, as the trailer showed Unique at Snaps and Pop's place of business. Because right now Rock's having problems getting her product to different locations around the city because she's having problems with the Chinese food supply delivery company that delivers her product. First with Terry, because he wanted to pull out after Unique shot up his warehouse. And now after Marvin killed Terry, the problem's now with the younger brother David, who's now left running the entire company, who's a drug addict who Rock called a disaster. Then there's also the fact when it comes to moving her product, Rock's partner with Irwin, the owner of the Chinese restaurant locations, who's having second thoughts about dealing with Rock, but said he's not going to pull out because he knows that Rock is dangerous and he knows what he's signed up for. But at the same time, we still haven't seen the scene from the Season 4 teaser that shows a kid setting the Golden Pavilion on fire. And after that happens, it might be time for Rock to move on from the Chinese restaurants completely. Keep it in mind, now that she's leveling up, her direct competition will be Quan, who put her in contact with the Chinese restaurants to begin with. And it was Quan who basically forced Rock's hand to make this move in the first place by increasing her price by 20% in episode 2, squeezing the margins even more than they already are, dealing in a market like the Southside Jamaica Queens. And right after Quan set his price increases, when Rock began to set her plan in motion to become the Connect, turning to Stefano to tell him about what was happening, because Stefano's who put Rock in contact with Quan to begin with, because Quan's the horse supplier for all of the 5 families. And at this point is when Stefano told Rock that if she could come up with a better deal than Quan, then they can talk. Then in episode 6, Rock met with Hafiz and Stefano and came to an agreement, with Stefano again mentioning if Rock and Hafiz can come up with the right price, there's opportunity for them to expand into other boroughs. So Rock's going to go from setting up trap spots to supply work to users directly to leveling up and supplying other dealers. Moving up the ranks to become one of the biggest drug dealers in New York City, like how Ghost and Tommy had Premieres under them. But one problem that Rock currently has is that Hafiz said it would take a couple weeks for him to set something up and get things going to where he could supply Rock's operation. In the meantime, Rock's on the very last of the products she got from Quan, and now Quan's supplying Unique, and like Unique said, he's taking back the blocks because Rock has her operation set up inside for outside work. So because of that, by the time Hafiz gets things in order, there may be nothing left for Rock at the Chinese restaurants anyway if Unique takes back control of the Southside drug operation. But there's a way to cut Unique's supply off like she did Ronnie in Season 3, and this would be killing two birds with one stone at the same time, and that's killing Unique's connect, Quan, especially if Rock plans on replacing Quan as the supplier for the 5 families of the Italian mafia. They could potentially force Rock to kill Quan anyway, seeing him as a loose end if he's no longer supplying their horse, telling Rock if she wants to be the plug, she has to kill the plug. Then after Rock kills Quan to become the connect, this would also leave Unique without product. And like I said at the beginning of the video, he could be the problem and the solution. Because if Unique doesn't have a plug, this could force his hand to get his supply from Rock. Then Rock would be able to move on from the Chinese restaurants and let Unique take control of Southside, assuming all the risk at the same time, while Rock would be able to keep her hands clean. Then there's also the clue from the Season 4 trailer that Rock's going to start trapping out of a club called the Loading Zone at some point in Season 4. Because even if Rock does become the connect, she could still be looking for multiple ways to move her product, both wholesale and retail. Similar to how in Power, Ghost and Tommy were the connect and had Premieres working for them, but there were still times when they were moving product out of Club Truth. And they also had a courier system in Season 1. But one question I have though is the Loading Zone Rock's next big purchase, like how she purchased a strip mall in Season 3? Or does she make arrangements to move product out of the Loading Zone with the owner, like they had arrangements in Season 1 to move product out of Club Lanes with the owner, Hugo? Because if Rock becomes the connect and starts supplying the 5 families, she'll have a lot of extra cash on hand and could use what she learned from Cartier Farid in Season 2 about cleaning money and purchase the Lonely Zone Club to wash her money, like Ghost convinced Tommy that they were going to purchase Club True to wash more money. So the Club Loading Zone might not be Rock's new trap spot, but it might actually be their new front and a way to clean money. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.